Shot.
That lawnmower. That's it. Yeah. Start that. Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know.
And made a post and basically told Roach. He tagged Lamar Roach and he said, look, you're not getting that fight with Tank.
A day in Gervonta Davis training camp for Jake Paul is driven by focus and relentless work, with every session built on sharpness, speed, and power. From conditioning to sparring, he stays disciplined and locked in on his mission, showing determination to prove he's ready for the challenge with no space for distractions. Rolly Romero offered a balanced view on the Jake Paul vs. Gervonta Tank Davis fight, saying Tank's legacy is already secure regardless of the result. As a world champion with major accomplishments, Davis doesn't need this fight to validate himself. Romero admitted Jake's natural size is a real factor, giving him a physical edge, but made clear it doesn't take away from the respect and accolades Tank has earned in boxing.
Big for him, but like Jake Paul might be too big for him, or Tank might crack him. You don't know. Like I said, or as an exhibition, we don't know if they throw at each other or not, or we don't know. I don't know. I can't give an opinion because I don't know what's going on.
Do you think it impacts, will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were to beat him or even knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
You know, some people trying to give, that's fair, some people trying to give Tank a hard time. They're saying he should have took a fight with Lamar Roach or Shakur Stevenson. But when you think about it, do you think this is business and look, he's getting a bag, or is there some validity to people saying that he ducked Roach?
I mean, there's still other options, you know? It's bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them. It's the same way Roach feels Tank is the best option for him. Same way that Stevenson thinks Tank's the best option.
Malignaggi stressed the key difference between size and experience, noting that while Jake Paul has gained size and popularity, it's boxing experience that truly matters. He pointed out that Gervonta Davis has fought on the sport's biggest stages, headlined major events, and faced elite opponents, levels Jake has never reached. Malignaggi argued that no matter Paul's physical edge, he can't match Tank's years of training, ring IQ, and adaptability. In boxing, he concluded, skill and experience usually outweigh size.
More to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. Yeah. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch at lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah. But if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion in multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Algieri, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing, and I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned?
Teofimo Lopez views the fight as more spectacle than sport, emphasizing that it's driven by entertainment and financial gain rather than legacy or rankings. He notes that both Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis will make huge earnings, which can't be ignored. While it doesn't hold the weight of a true world title bout, Lopez believes it still benefits boxing by attracting mainstream attention, bringing in new fans, and expanding the sport's reach.
Really invested on it, and I'm actually very happy for Gervonta and Jake. I really am, man. It's good for the sport in some way, you know?
So a heavyweight versus a lightweight.
Yeah.
You got a fly hit me, yeah. A heavyweight versus a lightweight. How's this going to work?
Hey, they make it work. It's an exhibition for a reason. So, you know, they know what they're doing. And, you know, shout out to Netflix and shout out to both of them, honestly. Like I said, I think a lot of people in the boxing world are kind of upset. I could care less. I think they're going to go out there and make their money. It falls on the number 8 for a reason. They're going to make a lot of money.
Have you got a prediction for that fight?
My prediction? A show. A show.
Well, clearly it's a show, but when you've got a lot of people underestimating Jake Paul once again, but when you've got a heavyweight boxer who knows how to throw punches and knows the basics against a lightweight, it's quite a difference. I mean, have you sparred heavyweights before?
Yeah.
For competitive sparring in the ring?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same, not at all. Definitely got to move. I've actually played around a few times, went through between their legs just to duck around. But yeah, because they're taller, you know. But I think for that competition, that fight, it reminds me a lot like The Big Show, and Floyd Mayweather when they fought in WrestleMania.
Yeah. And will that end the same way?
Possibly. Maybe some brass knuckles in there too.
Can you see Jake Paul knocking out Gervonta Davis?
It's boxing, man. And if it's a show like this, anything goes.
Diaz, known for his blunt honesty, dismisses the fight altogether, saying it holds no real competitive value. In his view, the outcome won't meaningfully impact either fighter's career. He calls it more of a show than a sport, an event built for entertainment, similar to pro wrestling, framing it as a sideshow rather than a legitimate contest.
I gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna do.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
he's just too small.
It just. I don't want to beat up somebody that small. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
What do you think of the fight?
I don't want to lose to somebody that. There's no point in the fight. It's a great fight, actually. I'm not hating on the fight, but I think. My thoughts on it is let's watch it, see what happens.
Ryan Garcia said his boxing's turning into WWE.
Yeah,
with that type of matchup. You agree? Last thing, White House card, like he said, you want Conor McGregor?
Yeah, but the whole thing's on WWE. So it's like, at least that's happening and getting something to talk about, something to watch. And I'm looking forward.
Jeff Mayweather shares Nate Diaz's skepticism, calling the Tank versus Jake Paul matchup unusual and questioning its purpose. He sees little sense in pairing a proven champion with a YouTuber-turned-boxer, describing it as odd and almost unnecessary. While he understands the business angle, his reaction reflects the confusion many traditional boxing fans feel toward crossover fights.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being exhibition, makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he's going to be weighing over 200 and some pounds. Tank's going to probably be weighing maybe at the most 147, 150. So I don't even understand why the fight is.
ASI, drawing from his own experience in influencer boxing, breaks down Jake Paul's promotional tactics. He argues that rumors about Jake fighting Anthony Joshua were never serious, but simply a way to create hype and mislead fans. To him, the matchup with Tank is just another move in Jake's strategy to generate buzz rather than chase true heavyweight-level competition. KSI's take highlights the theatrical and manipulative side of modern boxing promotions.
I knew AJ and Jake was never gonna happen.
I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought it was actually gonna happen? Well, it's so crazy. Like, I feel like so many people just believe everything online.
But that's pretty unbelievable on the other hand.
I feel like I know. Well, okay, how do I say it like this? Itoma versus White. I had a lot of people bet on White winning. And I'm there like, you guys don't watch boxing, do you? You just look at a record and go, oh, Dylan's fought many more people than Itoma. That record says a lot. Itoma's like 18, not 18. Itoma's 20, inexperienced. Round one. Like I just knew Itoma was gonna just destroy him. And I think a good fight for Itoma would be him and Wilder.
DJ Flores, Jake Paul's trainer, sees the Tank Davis fight as a stepping stone. While he believes Jake's real future is at cruiserweight and heavyweight, sharing the ring with a champion boosts Jake's profile and sets up bigger opportunities in higher divisions.
So one of my good friends, Armani, he has been working with Jake Paul for the last 2 years. Oh. There was a little time where Shane wasn't there with Jake, and Armani called me up and said, "Hey BJ, will you come down to Big Bear and spar with Jake?" And I'm like, "You want me to spar with Jake?" I'm thinking to myself, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, he's beating up all his sparring partners. We come, I was like, all right. I mean, fine, I'll go down there and do it. I have been inactive. I haven't done anything for like 8 months. But I was like, okay, I'll go down there. So we spar a couple times. After that, they decided I was too big for him. And, it's better if we just, not do it. And, then they asked me if I would be interested in like working the mitts with them and helping him with the combinations, because I was hitting him with some combinations they hadn't seen before. And I said, we can teach him all those things and have him doing all those things. And so I started working the mitts with him and helping him out on the mitts. And he told his trainers and everybody, they're like, man, I want BJ around for the entire camp because I'm getting better. My job is like Shane does the advice in the corner and I do the mitt.
Journalist Gareth A. Davies blasted the fight as a circus event focused on spectacle over substance. He argued the weight mismatch and lack of fair competition damage boxing's credibility, warning the sport risks losing its integrity if such trends continue. Still, Davies admitted that controversy fuels hype, and fights like this undeniably generate massive buzz.
We've gone out of the frying pan and into the fire because we thought we were going to get Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua very soon. We'll speak to Frank Smith about that in the next section, obviously. Eddie Hearn was teasing it to me personally last week. £80 million on the table for Anthony Joshua to fight Jake Paul. But 8 inches in height difference, 7 weight divisions between them, 5 stone, 70 pounds between them. It's a joke. It's a circus fight as opposed to a disgrace of a fight, which was Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul. At least you feel in this, you've got quite a poor, very big one against a pound-for-pound, brilliant, unbeaten little un. And the little un who'll come up to his navel will hit him with a lot of body shots. I said in the week to Danny Kelly and Charlie Brooker that, do I mean Charlie Brooker? No, Baker. Charlie Baker. That Charlie Brooker's a different person altogether. That he'll be throwing the Superman punch, the leaping left hook. It's going to be a very odd thing. It's called, in inverted commas, an exhibition bout. But everybody in boxing who is a name doesn't mind going in with Jake Paul because they know they're making millions of dollars. And that's the only reason that Gervonta Davis, who's being called the poison little elf by Jake Paul, and it'll be fun in the build-up. Everybody in boxing knows they're guaranteed to make millions of those silverbacks, those greenback notes that they give out in America, and they give them out for fun when Jake Paul fights. So he's not going to say no to it. But can you pick a winner in that fight?
I don't want to.
Vargas Jr. takes a lighter view, saying the fight's unpredictability is what makes it exciting. He notes the matchup was unexpected, and that surprise factor alone draws interest. For him, the novelty keeps fans talking, whether the bout is good or bad for boxing.